Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. Today I have the Nintendo Switch GameStop controller. Now this is the wireless sans fil. I don't really know how to say that word, but I kind of saw this controller. It's actually in their Black Friday sales booklet they have at the store, and I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and try it. So with a little wireless controller, this guy actually has a very impressive battery life, which you're about to talk about in a moment as soon as I unbox it. Regular price is $50. Right now I got it for $27.99 on sale, but I had a $15 off coupon also with my GameStop account, so it's like $15 after taxes and things like that. So with that being said, let's see how good this works and what it's capable of doing, and if it's worth purchasing for yourself, children, adults, whoever. Let's get into this video. So one of the first things I want to talk about is text specifications, and check the description like always. I'm going to hook it up to the system and play games on it so you can see it in real time. You're playing a game and you can get an idea of how it actually feels inside of the hand and things like that. So right here it says size for portability and comfort. Honestly, this looks size for children's hands in my opinion. It does have your sync button, USB-C. Thank God every controller has USB-C. I'm not sure what these two tops are, but we're going to find out together. It does have Bluetooth, of course. Bluetooth is very simple to sync. Now, we're going to go through the syncing process, but I'm also going to try to just plug this in directly through USB. And a lot of times that allows you to sync it directly to the system without going through the sync process. Also, you get 40 hours of battery life on one charge with this controller, which is super amazing. And that's what I like to hear. The higher the battery life, the better. I'll be honest with you. Let me go ahead and try to get this open. If I can open it. Here we go. Just open it from the side. Now, when you do get this, it's actually tape on the side. I cut it open prior to actually doing this video. Here we are. All right, here is the product right here. Whoops, shaky cam. I'm actually doing this on my ottoman, so don't mind the shakiness. Put that to me. Throw that to the side. Right here we have our instructions, which we'll take a look at. The USB-C cable. Not sure how long it is, but I'm going to go ahead and unravel this, and I'm hoping it's at least 6 feet. Minimum. Normally I have about 10-foot cords because I sit in the living room with the wife or godchildren, whoever that comes over, and I want to make sure the controllers fit. So this definitely is not in no way, shape, or form 6 feet. Maybe about 3 feet or so. 4 at the most, I guess, but I wouldn't even say 4 feet. Probably about 3 feet or so. Right here, we actually have the controller itself. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And, you know, surprisingly, it actually does feel nice in the hand. So normally for you guys that are used to having controllers like PlayStation, you normally have the little handles down here, which makes it easier to grip. Your sensors right here, which allows you to figure out if it's first player, second player, third player, fourth player, just so you know. You do have your left and right buttons, up, down, left, right, all that's here. Home button, this is start and select. This guy right here is the screenshot button. The actual X has the grooves in it, so all these buttons have grooves. You can tell that this is an official Nintendo product. Now, okay, see, I thought this was a button right here. So this is a sync button. This right here is a USB. And this is probably the button to let you know that you're synced. That's my guess. But we're going to take a look at the instructions together real fast before I go ahead and hook this bad boy up. Let's see here. Battery indicate. Yep, so here we are. So it looks like you're able to charge it by plugging this in right here. And it goes directly into the console itself. Not the console, but the actual dock. Now, what I will say is, obviously it's Bluetooth, so there's a way to go through the process of syncing it through Bluetooth. But me, since I have a dock, I'm going to plug it directly in, and we're going to make sure that it works. So with that being said, this is how the controller looks. Let me just go back to you. Now, normally with controllers this size, it reminds me of like the arcade controllers with the 3 buttons, the fighting controllers, if you guys remember those classic ones. But it feels pretty good in the hand. Again, I want to try this with adult fingers. I want to try to play some Minecraft and see how does this actually work. It don't have to be Minecraft, it could be any game. But I want to see how it works in real time to see if you're able to get the reaction times that you need with a controller this small. Because traditionally, this is pretty small. Like, this is the palm of my hand. This is the controller right here. So that is very, very small, especially compared to, let me grab one of these controllers that I have. Like one of these guys right here. You can see the physical size difference. It's not really comparable because this is the grips and it makes it easier for adult hands and it's a lot more comfortable. So again, I'm going to use this for a little bit, see how it works. And we'll come back to the video. We'll come back and see how it is. All right, guys, so in this section of the video, a lot of Nintendo Switch controllers, especially alternative controllers, there's multiple ways to sync them. Now, some allow you to plug it directly to the system and it works automatically. Others still require you to go through the actual process of basically syncing it, like the traditional go to the settings, the Joy-Cons, and actually syncing it. So the first attempt, what we're going to do, controller's right here, it's not connected. I'm going to plug this up through the USB. As you can see, as soon as I do that, it's charging now. So the light is actually red as it's charging. This is the sync button over here. Normally with other controllers, it works right away, but unfortunately it does not. So we are going to have to go through the actual sync process that Nintendo specifies for this controller. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. And when I come back, we're going to sync it together in real time. All right, guys, so to go through the process, give me a moment. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and plug it in. The other controller I have. Down. Okay, so what I'm going to do, in case you guys are wondering, was I'm taking the regular controller here, just so you know, and I'm going to go through the process of going to controller and actually syncing. I'll be honest with you, I do not remember how to do this. Let me see, find controllers. No, it's not that one. Let me see, change grip order. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in sync mode. As you can see right here, I'm going to hold the button, put it in sync mode. There we go. It's synced. So now it's working. So just for formality reasons, let me show you one sec. Unplug this right here. Unplug. Here we go. So now you guys will know that it's truly synced. So as you can see, this one's no longer lighting up. It's not plugged in anymore. Just the one cord is now plugged in, which is this controller. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Here we are. So the controller is paired. As you can see, we're good to go. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do for you guys in the next section, I'm gonna play a game just to see how the controller actually moves. Normally I would use Nier or one of these games, but I didn't get very far in the game. I just purchased it. And I'll play something that I have actually played to show you how it actually works. As a matter of fact, you know, since we're here, let's go ahead and do Diablo. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and load it right now for you guys. Just wait for the game to load. And then I'll test the controller out and see how it actually feels. Because to be honest with you, it seems like this controller is more so for a young adult or a kid with small hands because of how small it is. This is microscopic. But as I use it, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Like the way the analog actually protrudes right here and sticks up, it actually feels very, very comfortable. If it was closer, am I able to go back? I think about it. I don't know if I did a portal to actually get there. This is Diablo 2 for you guys that are wondering what this is. And I could have swore that I had a, I guess I didn't. All right, whatever. You know, you could have a portal to go back home and stuff in this game. So let's go ahead. Get some skeletons over here. All right. There we go. So, honestly, it feels good. It feels very, very good in the hand. I don't have any cramp. Well, what I'll say is I do have a little bit cramping in my left thumb, but it's because of the grip is so small. So yeah, it does give me cramp. So similar to like regular Joy-Cons, if you're a regular Joy-Con user, you'll like this controller. If you're a person that doesn't care for Joy-Cons, then there's a higher probability that this controller really isn't for you, and you're not going to like the way it feels. Because, you know, with regular size controllers, what I notice is that with regular size controllers like this, they have the grips at the bottom. If they would have had the grips at the bottom, it would have been easier to hold it and would have felt a lot more comfortable. But the way I'm holding my hand, holding on to this to try to find some type of comfort in it, like pressing the buttons is very simple. It's very easy. You won't mess up pressing the buttons. You won't mess up pressing any buttons, as a matter of fact. Now, if you're playing a fighting game, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, that's a different story because it actually requires button sequences, which is a little bit harder to do with smaller controllers. But for the most part, I mean, I like it. It does look well. It does. I said look well. It does feel well. When I don't press my hand against it like so and just hold it regular, I actually don't get any types of cramps. But like I said, this is for someone with smaller hands. Like if you're an adult gamer you're used to playing games like Call of Duty and just PlayStation or Xbox in general, or even PC for that matter, you know, your hands might not like this controller. I'm gonna be honest with you. You might have a problem with this. But for someone like me, since I have multiple controllers in general, Joy-Cons, alternative Joy-Cons, things like that, I don't mind it. And it has that 40-hour battery life. So if I play a game with my wife, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably play this during Minecraft or things like that require me to move around a lot. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. Like, to be honest, it's not that bad at all. It feels good. Like, it does feel good. Like, once I got used to positioning my hands a certain way. What are those? I never fought a brute. Oh, he's beating the hell out of me. Well, yeah, I never fought a brute before. Guy was tearing me to pieces. Anyhow, point is that the controller works very, very well. I personally, oops, go ahead and pull up the mat, press start. Let me go ahead and quit it for you guys. But anyway, the point is that this works very well. Doesn't feel too bad in the hand. It does the job it's supposed to do. It even looks similar to a Super Nintendo controller, not quite like it. They're probably going for that aesthetic, but they also wanted it to be practical for people that use it every day. Like I said, you get 40 hours of battery life. And, you know, it comes with not many features, but it says it has gyro, I believe. So I don't really know how that works in some of these games like Mario Kart and things like that. That's something that you're going to have to test out. I don't play those type of games whatsoever. But anyway, let's talk about, is it worth the actual purchasing price? So I'm going to be completely honest with you. At the price of $50, $49.99, I would not buy this controller for $49.99, primarily because they have the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which is more similar to this one. I don't have the Pro controller anymore. I actually gave that away. But the Pro controller actually feels more like the traditional controller. It feels much better than this one, by the way. I'm just showing you the shape as an example. And it has better texturized grips, amazing battery life, and to be completely wireless, Bluetooth, whatever you call it. I haven't had any lag with the Pro controller or anything, and that one's like $69.99. Sometimes you can find it on sale for $50. But for this to be $50 regular price, this is definitely grossly overpriced, and they're playing on people's emotion of traditional Super Nintendo controllers, and Nintendo knows that they make a large portion of their money off accessories. So that's why they sell stuff like this. Now, like I said, this is at GameStop. I just happened to get it at GameStop. I saw it up top. It said $27.99. Then I opened up the actual magazine that they have for Black Friday, and it also said $27.99. When I saw the 40-hour battery life, I was like, you know what? I can't go wrong with this. So for 40 hours of battery life, as long as you're okay with this type of controller and you're playing stuff that doesn't require too much hand control. And what I mean by that is I have games like Blasphemous. I have games like Diablo 2, Diablo 3. I have so many different types of games, Mummy Demastered, many side-scroller games in general that require fast attention. You have to pay attention. The button layout has to be perfect. Otherwise, you can mess up and get killed at any time in the game. And this does a very good job of playing actually any game that I played. Everything from Minecraft to Skyrim, everything worked fine on this controller. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. I didn't have to readjust for it, or it just worked. It worked very, very well. And what I will say is for the $27.99, absolutely this is worth it. 30 bucks roughly. Now, again, I had GameStop points. So $15 came off the controller. So it's already at $27.99. $15, knock that off. Let's round this off. $28 with that 13 bucks and some taxes. So it's $12.99 plus taxes get you to $15 total. And that's all I paid for this. And it lasts for 40 hours. So whenever I go places like my aunt's house and play with the kids with Nintendo Switch and stuff, I'm going to bring this with me. It's small. It's compact. That's the way it's meant to be. Now, there is one thing else that I wanted to talk about with this controller. And again, this is going to be for you guys that play Mario Party and Mario Kart and other games like that when you use a gyro. Now, according to this box, it says it has motion controls. So that means that if you're playing a game that requires you to shake the controller, you can do that. It's going to work. Allegedly. That's how it's supposed to be, because this is a legitimate Nintendo product. Though, what I will say is that when I was playing the game, let me just double check and check my options and make sure that it's not turned off, because I didn't feel any vibration for this whatsoever. So let me just double check and make sure that the vibration is actually on for these types of controllers. Controllers and sensors. Motion stick controls. Yeah, controller vibration. So it doesn't look like this controller has any type of vibration whatsoever. So that might be a negative for some people. Personally, I think vibrations on the controller is super annoying when it comes to Nintendo Switch games. I don't really care for it, and I don't really turn it off anyway. But to each their own. I like it. It's definitely worth the asking price of $27.99. If it bumps up to $49, no, I can't consciously say that this is worth that price. But given the battery life and what it offers, the fact it does motion controls, the fact that it has 40 hours of battery life, then yeah, technically it is worth $50 because most controllers are 8 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on these off brands that you get. But this is a legitimate Nintendo Switch product. So yes, it's worth it when you think about it. But when you look at other price controllers in the same amount or less, it makes it difficult because most people want bigger controllers that conform to their hand better. Instead of, it's all in your palms, it doesn't feel the same versus something where you have grips. And remember, this controller has extra buttons on the back of it and everything, so I have the option to map different buttons, and this is legitimate Nintendo Switch controller. It feels like it's better in my hand. It feels more natural to like the gameplay that you're used to doing. So I would suggest these type of controllers instead. But if it has to be wireless, and if you aren't willing to pay for that Nintendo Switch, the Pro controller, which is $69.99 normally, this is a decent alternative. It's certainly not better, but I do like it a lot. But anyway, that's the review. Like always, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.